evening, everyone. You're looking live at Munn Ice Arena in East Lansing, Michigan. Scott Moore with you. Eric Peasley and Joey Campbell will be along in just a moment to bring you live coverage of Game 3 of this best-of-3 first-round CCHA matchup between the Spartans of Michigan State and Ferris State University's Bulldogs. And here we go again, everyone. Friday night, it was Michigan State in overtime by a 3-2 score. Last night, Ferris got revenge by a score of 5-1. Now we play the rubber game this evening. Let's take a look at where these teams stand right now, both nationally and in the CCHA. You see in the WMEB poll, Michigan State ranks number 7th. Ferris nowhere to be found, but that has not been the case so far this weekend here at Munn Ice Arena. The Ferris Bulldogs been giving Michigan State everything they can handle and then some. In the CCHA, it's a matchup between teams number 3 and 6. Michigan State finished in a third-place tie with Western Michigan, won the tiebreaker because of the season standings between the two of them, or the season matchup between the two. Ferris State finishes 6th in the conference, and there always seems to be one of these first-round series that just goes right down to the wire. This year, it just happens to be Michigan State and Ferris State. Let's take a look back at last night's Bulldog win. We'll take a look at action from the first period. Actually, Ferris gets off on the scoreboard first. The overhead shot doesn't really show what happened on the shot. Let's take a look at it from a little bit lower. Irwin puts the puck up. The knuckleballer goes right over goalie Chad Albin's head, and the Bulldogs have the lead 1-0. You see other action from the first period. Albin caught out of the goal, but Ryan Fleming with the quick save there. Another Ferris goal. This one, Irwin, once again from Passarelli and Keith Surgatt. And after one period, Ferris had a 2-0 lead. In the second period, they came close. Albin, he bought a good break there as the puck hit the goalpost. Later on in the second period, Crimmin scores for Ferris at 5:57 with assist going to Irwin and Keith Surgatt once again. Michigan State got a goal, got back into the game at 10:40 of the second period. Take another look. Mike York with the shot. Anson Carter with the rebound, tucks it away. And State has their only goal of the evening, but the Bulldogs came right back about 7 minutes later. Bennett scores from Roach and Passarelli. Take another look at it right here as it just kind of goes right between Chad Albin's legs. And the final score was Ferris 5, Michigan State 1. So that sets it up. We got one game apiece for each of them. Now we got to find out who's going to win the third game and hit the road to the Joe. We'll be back with first period action. Eric and Joe will be here. Stay tuned at Spartan Hockey 96 on TCI Sports.
You know, there's a lot of automobile dealers, but only one can sell the most new and used cars and trucks. Only one can have the lowest prices or highest trade-in allowances or best financing. Only one automobile dealer can have the largest sales staff or the most awards for customer satisfaction. Only one can have the biggest service facility, parts inventory, or the most advanced body shop or longest service hours. What's amazing is, it is only one. Shaheen Chevrolet. All that, only one. Get more than you expected. See Shaheen's.
TCI's coverage of The Road to the Joe is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, Lansing Auto Glass, Douglas Signs, Scott Adams, The Stripe Man, and Campbell Catering. TCI Cable wishes to thank all of our sponsors for this year's Road to the Joe coverage.
Well, Joey Campbell, we talked Friday night before this series began about something special with playoff hockey. This makes it even more special. There's something very definitive and very final about the term elimination.
Well, that's exactly right, Eric. You throw everything else out the window, comes down to one game. You can see it as both teams are warming up tonight. Even Ferris, I think, is a little more timid than what they've been the first couple nights. The first couple nights, nothing to lose, everything to gain. And now they know that it's come down to the crunch time. It's the final game 3. All their hard work and efforts really will go for naught if they can't come up with that third one or the second win. So Michigan State here tonight, they're doing the same thing. A couple lineup changes. But I'll tell you, Eric, you know, you talk to a lot of people over the last couple days. What the big question is, what's happening right now with our hockey squad? Well, I don't think you can really pinpoint on one particular thing. It's just a couple different matters. Maybe bounces. The guys aren't playing cohesively. It's not they're not working hard. They're working hard, but there's a difference between working hard and having some success and doing it confidently versus working hard and struggling. Ferris, on the other hand, they're working hard and things are paying off for them. They're getting the bounces. Everything's going their way. So it's awful fun for them to work hard and be successful. On the other hand, Michigan State's got to work twice as hard and they get twice as frustrated. So it's just a different experience that we don't want to be facing right now.
Well, as Scotty mentioned in the pregame, you talked about bounces, and that's what got Ferris State rolling Friday or Saturday night, rather. And fluky goal, hit the Spartan defenseman stick right out in front. Chad is down on his knees. All he can do is just look up over his shoulder and watch it waffle literally underneath the crossbar and into the net. That got Ferris State rolling. The Spartans come back with a power play goal by Anson Carter, but it wasn't enough. Tonight, it's a new ball game. Michigan State hosting Ferris State. The Spartans and the Bulldogs, game 3 elimination, 2 out of 3 series for the road to the Joe. On 2 from here. Eric Peasy along with Joey Campbell, we're underway. Kozakowski from Michigan State has control. The key to this game, I think, as in Saturday night's game, the first 10 minutes, the Spartans dominated, nothing to show for it. They got to come out today. York, a backhander, and a big save by Blasio right out of the gate. Here come the Bulldogs, deep into the Spartan zone. Good back checking here by Harleton. Knocked the puck away from him. York has it deep in his own end. Left it there now for Harleton. Harleton tried to clear it out. Can't. Comes back into the corner. Facing it down now. York here on the near side. Headman's Carter. Up to Watt. Watt pulls up the blue line. Tried to find Carter. That pass intercepted by Dwight Parrott. Carter goes down behind the play. No call. Play continues in the Michigan State zone. Hunt dumps it in. And the Bulldogs complete a player change, as do the Spartans. On a hurry-up player change. Here comes Chris Smith. Smith fires a long drive. The big rebound comes out. Smith fan, another shot. Save, rebound! Just goes wide off the stick of Crane. Back the other way comes Ferris here on the near side. Harris tries to get control. The Spartans have it on the near board. Back to Crane. And it's finally lifted high to center. Here's Chris Bogus along with Smith. Smith on the right side comes right up to center ice with it. He looks to fire one, and it does. Big shot, dribble just wide of the post. They're cranking him on Jeff Blashill Hurley. Here's Harris on the near side. Kozakowski falls back defensively. We've got some very rapid fire action right now in the early moments of this hockey game. Kozakowski here on the right side tries to find Adams too far. We're going to have an icing call here within the first 2 minutes. And we finally get things slowed down a little bit, but I'm not sure that's what the Spartans want.
Well, I think they do, Eric. What you want to come down there and continue to pepper this guy Blashill and hope something's going to break for the guy. He's been a stellar performer all weekend. He's been the secret to Ferris State's success. Well, there's a buzz going on here right now. It's electrifying. People are very excited. They want their Spartans to pull this one through. But I'll tell you, that Blashill, we can't get discouraged as we did last night. We've seen it before. I don't care how many stops he makes. You put that first one past him, and it's a whole new ball game.
Odell for the face-off for Bowling for Ferris State. Here comes Michigan State. Steve Ferrante. Ferrante up over the line. On Colburn. Ferrante, quick shot. Bad angle side of the net. Goes in behind the net for Crane. Or Adams, rather. It's Brian Adams. Tuzolino there with him to help dig it out. Tuzolino, Ferrante. Ferrante in the corner. Tries to wheel around. He's bothered by Colburn. Up in the loose puck now is Adams. He works along the boards, and it's finally cleared down the ice by Ferris State. And we'll rule no icing here. Play continues deep in the Spartan zone. It's been all Michigan State here so far. Up in the far boards, Watt tries to get it up to Carter. Has it taken away from him, driven back into the Spartan zone. Tony Tuzolino is down on a heap right in front of the Michigan State bench. Holding his shoulder or his arm. We'll keep an eye on him. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. This is Hunt breaking for the net. is Bennett into the far side. Going over there to knock it up ice is Watt. A good job. We'll have no icing here. Play continues. This time in the Bulldog zone. York charges in his man. Surgat right there. Carter with a wraparound attempt. Stuffed right at the doorstep by the netminder Blashill. Here's York. He comes back the other way. Right up front. Carter fan on the shot. Didn't get good wood on it. Here's Hunt. Tries a lead pass at center. Driven right back in by Smith. Blashill behind the net. Quick line change for Michigan State. Here they come again. Richard Keys, the fans love it. Keys takes a look behind his net. Goes after his man, can't get there. Smith there to break that one up. The intensity of this game is unbelievable in the early moments. Here now is Ferris State to the near side for Hunt. Hunt takes it over the line. It's whistled down offside as Bennett was in just a stride ahead of the play. And we'll have a face-off outside the Michigan State zone. You can feel the electricity in the air, as you just mentioned, Joe. This is going to be a good one.
Well, that's exactly right. You can't blame Michigan State for not coming out and jumping on Ferris State early. They are doing just that. They've been throwing 1, 2, 3, 4 lines at them. Everybody's going extremely hard. It's not the lack of effort that we're not having the success. That's definitely not the case. That Blashill, he stands right in there and he's making those big saves. You notice Tyler Clark, that line of Ferrani came out there, the crash line, is without one of their wingers. Tyler Clark is hurt tonight. He's been replaced with Brian Adams on that wing. Sometimes that can be a good omen. You know that you're missing one of your key players. You're going to have to step it up and work that much harder, and sometimes it pays off.
Joey, there's two other key players that we're seeing tonight here. Curtis Gemmel will center a line with Mark Loading on the left and Brian Clifford on the right. So both of those players getting some action here tonight. Fresh legs, see if they can help the Spartans out. Behind the net, Barons goes after with Keys. Right there is Muldoon. He tried to clear it out, but not. At the blue line, Harleton keeps it and throws it at the net. Wide to the far side, comes in near board. Harris has it this time for Ferris. Brings it up to the line. Payne has it. Brings it back with Muldoon. Payne swings it up on the right side. Intercepted by Ferrante. Keeps it in the zone. Ferrante, Keys out front. Ferrante, backhander off the side. And right to the post goes Blashill, and he holds it there for a face-off. 15:55 to go here in the first. The fans are loving it.
Well, we talked about Michigan State working hard, Eric. I'll tell you what, persistency is what they're coming at right now. They want more than anything to pop that first goal, and they're giving Blashill everything that he can muster to handle down there. It's going to be interesting to see how that continues to pan out. The young man has just stood in there all weekend long. You know, another thing to think about, these guys have been here since Friday. Long time to be away from home.
See how they handle it now with Ferris behind the net. Ferrante right there with him, pestering him all the way. That gets by everybody. We'll have an icing call here, and with that, we'll take a break and be back in just a moment.
You know, there's a lot of automobile dealers, but only one can sell the most new and used cars and trucks. Only one can have the lowest prices or highest trade-in allowances or best financing. Only one automobile dealer can have the largest sales staff or the most awards for customer satisfaction. Only one can have the biggest service facility, parts inventory, or the most advanced body shop or longest service hours. What's amazing is, it is only one, Shaheen Chevrolet. All that, only one. Get more than you expected. See Shaheen's.
Spartans got the jump tonight. Joey Campbell or what?
Well, they certainly do. They're not going to go down without a fight. That's for sure. And I can tell you, Ferris is a little bit on their heels. Very much indicative of last night's game, but we just couldn't pop it. We got frustrated early, and then Ferris State was just able to get that fluke goal and kind of took it to us.
Deflected right to the netminder Blashill off the stick of Ferrante. He comes the other way and gets hit hard. Good clean check. That one's deflected off a skate here to the near side. That was off the stick of Bogus. Back now comes Irwin. He's here on the near side for Hodel. Tried to get it out. Bogus keeps it in, throws it at the net. Deflected wide by Adams. Out to the point. Slater tries to keep it in. Tuzolino got there first. Glad to see him back up all right. Throwing in here on the right side. Chasing it down now is Ferrante. Tuzolino behind the plate. Tuzolino couldn't get to that one. It's cleared all the way down in center for Irwin. Irwin in over the line. He takes a look. Taken away from him. Good job by Michael Watt. Loose now at center. Crimmins drives it back into the Spartan end. 0-0 hockey game. Third game. 3-game series, each have won a game apiece. The winner goes on to the Joe. For the CCHA Championship playoffs, Carter has it on a giveaway. Shoots just wide. The netminder got a piece of it, deflected it wide of the near post. Carter goes after it in the corner once again, try to get a centering pass out for Watt, poked away from him. Loose now for Watt, takes it out the point, turns, fires, and it goes up the side of the net. The goaltender didn't know where that one was. That was deflected here on the near side by Carter, and it hit the side. Loose behind the net once again. This is Michael York now for Michigan State. York has Carter, couldn't get the pass through. York does the work in behind the net in the corner. Now it's left loose for Carter. He can't get there. Coming in and clearing it down the ice. A good job there by Ferris. They'll take another icing call there as it's whistled down. And we'll have another stoppage of play. And Ferris says, help!
That's exactly right, Eric, and I'll tell you what, you got to love the effort Michigan State's putting forth right now. That Anson-Carter line is determined tonight. They're coming out there. They've had two or three good opportunities. You know, it's something that would key in my mind a little difference tonight than last night. The saves that he's making, he's getting a piece of them. They're trickling off to the side here and there. He's not handling them soundly. That would tell me, I would just look at my forward line mates and say, hey, listen, guys,
Crash the net.
bang it home. Just keep banging. Something's going to pop on this guy because he's a little bit shaky. He's not as steady. Not the stellar man that we've seen the first two nights. He's got a little bit of doubt in his mind.
That's 4 or 5 of those as that's happened with him here in the early going, Joe, in the first 6 minutes. He's made the stop, but they've dribbled by it one side or the other. A couple deflections by Michigan State have been just wide. They are all over the net right now.
That's exactly right, and that tells you when you're a forward, you should go, you can't wait to start shooting at him. You can't wait for your next opportunity because something's got to give.
Here now the play is loose at neutral ice. Bell just flipped it into the Spartan end, and Chad Albin is there to pick that one up. That'll be another icing call against Ferris. Bring the faceoff deep into the Bulldog zone to the left, right to the left of the netminder Jeff Blashill. And again, this crowd comes to life. They're really giving the Spartans a big lift on the ice.
Yeah, the Big Green Machine is rocking and rolling here tonight, Eric, but Ferris is just doing anything he can to try to shut him down. They're in a desperate situation right now. They got to hold Michigan State off here in this early going.
Sean Behrens and Scott Bell on the draw. Bell controls back to Colburn. Colburn wheels behind his net, flips around the far boards, but not out. Payne is there doing battle with one of the Spartans, Richard Keys. It goes loose back the other way for Bell. There to meet him is Crane. Drives him hard to the boards, but long pass at center gets by everybody. That one's going to dribble right to Chad Albin. No icing here. Albin leaves it for Bogus. Drives it hard off the glass far side for Brian Crane. He takes a look, just lifts it up to the ice. That hit a linesman. And it's driven into the Spartan zone by Behrens. The Spartans complete that quick line change. Here come the Bulldogs. Colburn on the near side. He pulls up for Harris. Bulldogs are looking to get a line change as it comes back into their zone. This is White Parrott for Colburn once again. Back to Parrott. He's met there by Ferrante. Clears it up to the point, but not out. Spartans go after it, keep it in play. Good job by Cozzolino. Bouncing there for Ferrante. He can't get the wood on it. Now it's loose. Up with it now. Ferrante fired a shot, but it was tied up by the defenseman. That play knocked down. Good back technique by Ferrante. It's another line. A quick shot going down to block that one. Kick it out of there. Kept it at the line. No. It's whistled down offside, and we'll have a stoppage of play again to bring it outside the Michigan State zone. The crowd is loud enough right here, and the action, I think, is pretty heavy on the ice right now. The players might be having a tough time hearing that whistle once in a while.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, we don't usually get this kind of noise out of our crowd, but it's great to see. Even though the students aren't here, they're still sunning themselves down there in sunny Florida and enjoying that. But they could be here in the friendly confines cheering our Spartans on. So you and me and the rest of them, Eric, we're going to have to do it.
Yeah, you bet. Anson-Carter in the circle on Hodel. Hodel wins that one, brings it back to Roach. Roach just tried to work it up ice. Get one of the Spartan skates. It comes back to Blashill. Here now at the Ferris State zone. York couldn't get to it. Andy Roach has it now. Up in over the line. Pass to the defense. Roach turns, fires! And a big kick save by Chad Albin. Here to the near side. Whistled in behind the net. Comes here to the near board. Surgat fires one wide. Comes around the other way. Looking for the centering pass out front. Harder there to pick that one up defensively. Looking for the lead pass in the right wing for York. Poked back the other way by Surgat. Now Smith has it for Michigan State. 12-10 to go here in the first scoreless hockey. Michigan State and Ferris State off the boards far side. The Spartans in control. This is Watt. Just drives it in deep. The Spartans want to get a player change. That one dropped down by Blashill. Here comes Surgat. This is Keith Surgat, the defenseman. Up to the blue line. You know the line, it goes long, left wing pass. Finding Michigan State Crane on side, turns, fires it into the zone. Black Keys comes charging in behind the net. Keys has it, trying to centering pass, looking for it with Behrens. He couldn't get there. Behrens, a backhander on the top of the net. Oh my! And with that stoppage of play, we'll take a break and be back in just a moment.
TCI's coverage of The Road to the Joe is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, Lansing Auto Glass, Douglas Signs, Scott Adams, The Stripe Man, and Campbell Catering. TCI Cable wishes to thank all of our sponsors for this year's Road to the Joe coverage.
Well, Eric, we've seen it again. That Blashill just came up with an incredible save. Sean Beers right on the doorstep. He's laying on his back, throws up the blocker, tips it up over the net. We're going to get a replay of this. There's young man. Boy, he feels good about himself or what?
Play continues in the Ferris State zone. Here come the Bulldogs. Harris on the left side. Just flipped it ahead. Chasing it down now. Going after it. Payne couldn't get there in time. Crane crashes into Bell on the far side. The Bulldogs keep it in the zone. A backhander goes off Bogus' leg here to the near side. Spartans now buzzing all over Ferris State. A good save made by Chad Albin. That was off the stick of Bell. Play in the corner now for Behrens. He goes after his man. The referee watching the play. Poke checked away by Chad Albin. Loose now comes out to the defense. Here comes Richard Keys. Keys breaks up the right side with good speed. He takes a look. Ridden out of the play, hard into the boards. Colburn has it now. Spartans complete a line change. Colburn back the other way. Fast-paced action here at Munn Arena. The third in elimination game in this best 2 out of 3 between Michigan State and Ferris State. Spartans winning an overtime thriller on Friday night, 3-2, and Ferris State coming back to dominate on Saturday, 5-1. The winner goes down to the Joe to take on either Lake Superior or the University of Michigan. Spartans on the left side. This time it's Harleton. Harleton swings it over to the right wing for Tuzlino. It's behind him. He's got to come back and cover. Loose at the blue line. Taking right in. Quick shot save made. And off the glove and into the corner of Chad Albin. That one's off the stick of Bennett. There's another shot by Roach from the far side. Sticked up high in behind the net. Albin is on his game right now. The Spartans now trying to tie up the play in the corner. Here's Bell has it. He's trying to get a centering pass. Quick shot. Passarelli. That one over the shoulder of Chad Albin that time. He got another piece of it.
I hit the crossbar.
Behind the net now. The Spartans try to clear it up ice. Up to the blue line, but not out. Back now to Albin. He's going to slap the crapper on that and finally get a stoppage of play with a face-off to his left. Woo!
I'll tell you what, Eric, on the opposite end, we talked about Blashill a number of times. You got to give credit to Chad Albin down there. He just came up with 2 or 3 stellar saves himself. You know, that's really tough. When you got 10 minutes, 8 minutes, or whatever, down at the other end, you're watching the other netminder bounce around like a fish out of water, making every save in the world possible. You're getting down there, you're a little cold. You haven't seen a shot in probably 10, 15 minutes because you had to break after the warm-ups. Now Chad's gotten in there. He came through with 2 or 3 big saves to thwart Ferris' State's attack right there.
10:05 to go here in the first. Scoreless hockey, Michigan State and Ferris State. Draw controlled by the Spartans, wound around the boards in the near side. York tries to tie his man up. We'll have an icing call there, and that'll bring it back into the Spartan zone, killing off just a few seconds. Shots on goal so far, Michigan State 9, Ferris State 2, and those coming on that last rush just a moment or so ago in the Michigan State zone. The Spartans have carried this play from the outset into the Ferris State end of the rink and kept the play there with the exception of the last couple of moments. Face off again to the right of Chad Albin, Anson Carter, and Hodel. Jason Hodel, the freshman of Regina, Saskatchewan for Ferris State. In the far corner it goes up for Watt. Watt takes a look, looks for the lead pass to center for York. York bursts in on the left side. He's taken out of the play by Muldoon. Play continues in behind the net. Quick shot there from behind the net for Watt. He can't handle it. Brings it back now for Carter. Taken over by Hodel. He handles it off the boards, but not out. Bogus works it along the boards. Irwin checks him from behind. Now coming up with the puck in the corner is Muldoon and York. Left there for Roach. Wound around the far side. Going after the Smith. Tries to keep it in play and does a good job. And with a shot high over the top of the net, gets by everybody and goes down the ice to Chad Albin. Albin swings it all the way up on the left wing. There's nobody there. We'll have an icing call there against Michigan State. And that brings a face-off deep into the Spartan zone. I think that's when the Spartans wanted there, Joe. They were in the middle of a line change, couldn't complete it smoothly, so Chad just flipped it up the length of the ice.
Well, they certainly did. And I'll tell you what, Eric, I hope it's not deja vu. This is very similar to what happened last night. I think Michigan State came out first 10 minutes, just pummeled the goaltender Blashill. Now tonight, you know, and all of a sudden Ferris came back and in the second 10 minutes popped that little fluke. I don't think so. I don't think these guys are going to sit back and watch that happen because last night, they've seen it once.
That's enough. Take it to them. Green. Here they go. Tipped into the Bulldog zone. chasing it down now. Here's Behrens. Couldn't get there in time, wound around the near side. Keys tries to handle it. Right there with him is Harris, taken away from him by Colborn. Colborn this time behind the net. He's going to wind it up at his own end. Looks for the left wing pass for Harris. He finds him. Just tipped into the zone. He runs into Fleming. Fleming takes him out of the play. Harleton tried a clearing pass. Comes up on the left wing for Behrens. Behrens up with a loose puck. Behrens for Keys. Tried to sidestep and tipped it into the zone. Keys. Behrens along on the near side. Tried to control it. It comes loose. Payne has it now for Ferris. Wheels in his own end. Bothered by Crane. Courage fires it down the ice, but not out. Here's Anson Carter. He's down in a slump. Or Keys, rather. He's down, all tangled up with the stick of one of the players for Harris. And the referee, Shagas, is letting everything go right now. There really hasn't been anything all that bad. Colburn